Hey everyone, Audrey here, and I am 38 weeks pregnant tomorrow technically, and I just wanted to talk about real quickly. I'm gonna try and keep this part quick. I want to talk about my experience at my prenatal appointment when it came to asking for a COVID test. These are my personal opinions and my beliefs, so none of you get your panties all in a bunch, okay? But I personally feel that everyone and anyone should be able to get tested if we know, especially if we know that this virus can hold, like, people can be asymptomatic, right? The only way then I feel like you can know if you have it is if you get a test. And yes, there's limited testing and stuff like that, so I understand qualifications and all this and that, but I don't know. Today I have been pondering the idea of whether or not I wanted to bring it up at my appointment and ask for a test, because I have been having some anxiety around the idea of birthing a baby during the middle of a pandemic. I'm pretty sure other pregnant women, you can relate with me out there. And lately the thought has been more about, like, I want to know for, like, my baby's sake, right? Like, I want to know so that, from what I've researched, I mean, there's not a whole lot of information about pregnant women and COVID out there right now. But, like, from my research that I have read about and watched many videos on, it doesn't pass through the utero or breast milk or placenta. So this is good news, right? However, there's been some cases where the baby ends up getting COVID after the baby's born. So is it from mom directly? Is it from a healthcare worker? Who knows, right? How this baby got it close to immediately after being born. If you know you have it as a mom, you can take necessary precautions immediately after birth to try to prevent your baby from getting this virus. So for that reason and that reason only, I have a huge desire to be tested, to just know what I'm dealing with after he's born. I feel safer with him right now in there, but the moment he's born, you know, that Momma Bear protection mode is kicking in. So I thought, you know what, I could be asymptomatic. Who knows? When you're pregnant, you have a lot of symptoms going on in general, and some of them are similar to what these symptoms are for COVID. For example, shortness of breath or muscle pains, muscle aches. It's really hard to differentiate, right, what it is you're experiencing, especially because your body, when you're pregnant, is just going through so many different changes as is, even without a virus in it, right? So adding a virus on top of it, I don't know, I just feel like if there's similar symptoms, it would be hard for me to even know if I really felt them or not. So I've been pondering this lately, and I decided to ask. And I wanted to share what the response was. My midwives are amazing, so this is nothing against my midwife particularly. She was so great. She was awesome. It's about the system. I was quite shocked that their answer to me today was, well, first I asked if I wanted to get tested, do you guys provide testing here, or is it at the hospital? She said, we can only provide or put in an order for pregnant women who are having induction or a C-section. I understand medically there's probably reasons for this, and I don't know what they are. They didn't explain other than that. But my gut reaction to that was, okay, well, some women choose to have a C-section. Some women choose to be induced because that's their preference, not necessarily because medically they have to be. So they get to get a test because they made that choice over somebody who is also going to be bringing a baby into this world, just doing it a different way. So I'm doing a hospital birth, but all natural. So because I'm not getting an induction or a C-section, at least I'm not planning on that, then I don't qualify to be tested, although we're all going to be giving birth. If there's a doctor out there watching this, or anyone that may know the answer to why that is okay, medically, scientifically, please explain, because I hear this as a mom, just as a mom, going, how is that right? So I even had the thought, well, can we plan an induction date right now then, and then give me the order, and then I'll just cancel it because I changed my mind and want to do a natural last minute. Then what? Then I qualify? I was taken back. And my midwife agreed with me. She was like, I believe that every pregnant woman should be able to get tested. It shouldn't be split based on how you're going to give birth. You're still giving birth to a baby. I'm like, exactly. So she really fended for me. She tried to ask, and I could hear her in the hallway, and she was really, that she should be able to, right? We should be able to. She was really going for it for me, but they said, hold on, let's call and ask. And then they called and then they came in the room and told me, they said induction or C-section only, or we can't order it for you today, but if you want one the day of delivery, as you're walking into the hospital, you can request one. And I thought, I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, and part of me is like grateful, like I should be grateful, right? That there's still an opportunity. And then there's a part of me that's like, do you really think a pregnant woman in labor is gonna want to stop at the front door and be like, stick that thing up my nose right now, let me hold still. I'm having surges, contractions, sensations, whatever you call them. But I gotta get this done. And am I gonna have immediate results? Because this baby could pop out in 2 seconds. I mean, you don't know how many centimeters dilated you're gonna be before you get there. You could be pushing that baby out within 10 minutes. Like, you don't know how the day's gonna go. And then finding out the news all in one day as your baby's being, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. So I feel very passionately about this, if you can't tell. But my midwife was like, you know what? You can go on Arizona, I think it's called, Arizona Blitz, ArizonaTestingBlitz.com. That's what she told me. I wrote that down. Then I went home and she said the testing for that ends tomorrow. So if you want to get tested, you can try and go through that route through a drive-through, right? So I looked that up and it didn't exist. Like, the website wasn't working or whatever. And I was like, what? So then I just Googled Arizona testing, and I found that CVS actually started today drive-through testing at 10 locations in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And all you have to do, you have to register online, fill out a questionnaire, and then they decide through that whether you qualify. And then you have your appointment time. And then they called me like 10 minutes later, talked a little bit, and then they emailed me the final step to confirm my email, and they'll tell me the results through email 2 to 4 business days after. So I jumped in my car and I was like, sweet, I'm getting this test today. And went and got the test, and now I have footage of that. So check out part 2 of this journey of being tested for COVID as a pregnant woman. Check out part 2. The next video is me and my husband going through the drive-through, and my daughter going through the drive-through to get tested and see how that went. But yeah, man, guys, that was an interesting awareness I had brought to my attention today. I personally feel like anyone and everyone should be able to get tested, and I know that, you know, that's just like impossible right now with not having enough tests. So I get that they try to prioritize and this and that. It's just really saddening, you know, for anyone who really wants to be tested and ends up hitting that block. But luckily we were able to get it. So power to the pregnant women. Where are you at? If you are going through this or have, like, yeah, if you're in the same boat as me, please comment below. I barely know any pregnant women right now going through this, and so it would be nice to connect. So leave a comment below, say hi, love to hear from you, and yeah, check out part 2 of the rest of how the day went. Okay.